The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of Open, the one and only show that opens the Bronx and the world. Your host, Rhina Valentin, your café con leche. As always, here to bring you the best from arts, music, sports, entertainment, and so much more. First up, we'll introduce an impressive and innovative Latin band that we're listening to right now. We're going to have a little chat with them. Then we'll find out what fun events are taking place in today's Open Weekend Preview. A local gallery is showcasing an exciting celebration of indigenous African tools and instruments. Find out where. After, celebrate more African special events today at the Joyce Kilmer Park. There will be a summer outdoor film festival in collaboration with the African Film Festival. And by the way, it is free, so make sure you stay tuned to find out more. And finally, go check out a group exhibition featuring interactive multimedia projects, all timeless and inspirational pieces. They're found in a very impressive New York City gallery. Our guests today include members of the BronxNet family, Lehman director, and Bobby C special guest in Bobby C Sports Corner. And we're going to close out today's show with the band that has played all around the world, including the opera Carmen at the Metropolitan Opera in Lincoln Center. So don't go anywhere. All that and more heading your way, because now we are officially open. Hello and welcome once again to Open. Rhina Valentin here, your café con leche siempre los viernes. That is Friday, and today is Friday, July 15, 2011, and we are, always inviting you to send in any comments or suggestions on any segments that you would like to see aired and or have previously aired. And of course, all you have to do is send us an email to open@bronxnet.org. And if you're watching us live this Friday morning at 10 a.m., all you got to do is pick up that phone and give us a call at 718-960-7241. Now, you're listening to the nice, smooth sounds. That's right. We gave our DJ the day off. So let's welcome the band that's actually going to be playing throughout the entire show, Los Cintrón. Hola.
Buenas. Hola, hola. Buenos días.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Well, a pleasure.
Glad to be here.
Yes, well, you guys have a nice, extensive bio. I mean, you've traveled all over the world. Tell us a little bit about this music.
Well, what we play is basically flamenco, form of flamenco. We're originally from Spain. Where some places, more interesting places we've been, so like Moscow,
London, Rome.
Nice.
Spain. France.
New York.
And New York, and now in the Bronx.
Now the beautiful Bronx, and the boogie down.
No. All right, so is the band itself, Los Cintrón, there's more of you, right?
Yeah, we have more elements. We're the basic elements because we're Los Cintrón, the brothers Cintrón.
Nice, so tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we get along still after playing for 25 years together.
Nice. Are you actually brothers?
Yes, we are.
You
Yes.
are?
Yes.
Nice. How is that working with a family member?
You could
It's
imagine.
fine, as long as we don't drink.
That's a good answer. Where are you guys from?
Originally from Salamanca, Spain,
Uh-huh.
and we were born there, and then we came here at a young age, and we were raised here.
Nice.
And back and forth.
And You actually have a wonderful cruise that's going on Sunday. Well, it's not your cruise, but you're playing on this fabulous cruise.
Yeah, we'll be with more members of the band and two lovely, beautiful dancers on the Jewel Cruise Line that leaves out of 23rd
We're actually doing a
Street.
tribute to the Gypsy Kings on the cruise.
Yeah, so if you like Gypsy
So
Kings,
there's going to be a
it's,
lot of music that you know, and it's going to be a great summer night, yeah.
a lot of fun.
All right, are you going to be playing something from the Gypsy Kings for us at the end of the show?
Why not?
Sure.
Oh, throughout the show? I mean, you're going to be playing throughout the show.
Yeah, we'll be with you all morning. So.
All right, looking forward to it.
Nice to meet you.
All right, gracias.
Gracias. Gracias.
Los Cintrón. Beautiful. All right, people. It's kind of mellow today and elegante. That's what we're doing here in Open this Friday. And of course, well, you know, there's lots of other things to do this weekend. And, you know, we know what to tell you because it is now time for our Open Weekend Preview. And first up, Bob Gallery presents Higueras. Now through July 31st, David Hernandez Concepcion provides a show that celebrates the functional and symbolic attributes of gourds, that is the hard-shelled fruits of various plants. These ornaments are often used in indigenous communities and throughout the African diaspora as kitchen tools, water-bearing vessels, and other instruments. Higueras will showcase these consecrated fruits of nature multimedia artwork. Again, that's happening at Bob Gallery, located on 235 Eldridge Street. That's in New York. And if you're interested in RSVPing, send an email to bob.gallery@gmail.com. Next up, go to Joyce Kilmer Park or the Bronx Museum if it's a rainy day, which I don't hear it's going to be a rainy day, but to get a thrill that is of Bronx, Africa. That's right. This is a summer special outdoor film screening in collaboration with the African Film Festival. This event, First Fridays, takes place on the first Friday of every month for films and video screenings, art performances, music, and other special events. It's free. Love that word. No cover charge. That's right. There will be music by Iboru, an East African MC that plays Afro-Cuban, Yoruba, and rumba music. And there's also going to be a screening of a film called Ali Wanadu and Bongo Barbershop, as well as many other exciting African cultural performances. Joyce Kilmer Park is on Grand Concourse, and that is Grand Concourse to Walton Avenue between 161st and East 164th Street. Once again, that's East 161st and East 164th Street. It's happening today, July 15th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., as well as every first Friday of every month from now on. So make sure you get out and enjoy. All right, lastly, Taller Boricua is proud to present Barrio Rama, which is a group exhibition featuring artists like Neida Collazo Lawrence, Rosalinda Gonzalez, and Johnny Ramos. That's just to name a few. Barrio Rama celebrates the East Harlem community, also addressing the different perspectives and challenging issues of the neighborhood. These multi-talented media artists are everything from photographers to videographers, all presenting stunning works of art of East Harlem and the East Harlem neighborhood. The last day of the art exhibition is tomorrow, July 16th, Saturday, July 16th. The gallery hours are from 12 noon to 6 p.m. And Taller Boricua Gallery is located at 1680 Lexington Avenue. 1680 Lexington Avenue, that's located at 106th Street in Lexington Avenue. And for more information, you can go to tallerboricua.org. And once again, that's also free. We love that word, free admission. So make sure you guys get out there and enjoy lots of art for all of you this weekend. And that is our Open Weekend Preview. So make sure you get out and enjoy this lovely weekend. All right, before we go to break, if you missed any of the National Puerto Rican Day Parade action last month, you can always catch it on BronxNet.org. And here's what you do. You go to BronxNet.org by clicking on the Bronx Media tab, then scroll down to BronxNet Packages, okay, which I believe we're getting to. BronxNet Packages. It's to your right. Where is BronxNet? There it is. It's going down to the bottom. Click, and you click there. Click on BronxNet Packages. Once you click on that, then it's going to lead you into the package page. And there you'll be able to see the actual package of the National Puerto Rican Day Parade. All right, and so now we went from the National Puerto Rican Day Parade to the Salsa Fest. See, the first annual Salsa Fest revived the tradition of salsa at Orchard Beach last week. And last weekend, BronxNet cameras, as well as myself, were there to capture it. So let's take a look. Rhina Valentin, and we're here at Orchard Beach for some fun, sun, and salsa. The first annual Bronx Salsa Fest began on July 7th and concluded with Salsa on the Sand, as live music returns to Orchard Beach with Nelson Gonzalez and the All-Star Band.
I'm playing Afro-Cuban music, which is what I play. I could play a little bit of jazz, I could play a little bit of everything, but mainly the people that come here, they just want to party.
This event, courtesy of Latino Sports, Bronx Lebanon Hospital, and the National Museum in Harlem, was hosted by Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. and the Bronx Tourism Council with the hopes of reviving the tradition of salsa at Orchard Beach to continue.
Many of them used to come to me for the last 2 or 3 summers and say, where's the live band? And so here we have it for them again. And hopefully we're going to continue this from now on.
While there were lots of people who came out to Orchard Beach to enjoy and dance to the rhythms of salsa music, we came across some visitors from out of town.
So I won't tell anybody that we found a Korean salsera. Orchard Beach, baby!
I'm born and raised here, and I moved to Georgia in '95.
I'm from Connecticut, actually. He's
And
from
I'm
New Rochelle, New
a
York.
short while from here up in New Rochelle.
The stage was hosted by Julio Pabon of Latino Sports, who also obtained hundreds of signatures to retire the number 21, a campaign he's been advocating to retire number baseball player Roberto Clemente used to wear.
What people don't understand is that retiring Clemente's number is not just about baseball. Clemente's number needs to be retired. It is about Latinos.
While the band was on break, Zumba instructor Hilda Rosario took over the stage with a demonstration of this new innovative workout that includes various forms of dance. Zumba. Audience participated, and of course, I couldn't help but join in. That is all for today, folks. But the concert series at Orchard Beach is scheduled to continue July 17th with Rhina Valentin and July 24th with Típica 73. So make sure you come out and enjoy the Latin sounds of the Bronx Riviera. For more information, you can go to ilovethebronx.com. I'm Rhina Valentin reporting for Open. It's summertime, people! You saw that? That's right. We are rocking it at Orchard Beach. So make sure you check out the website once again at ilovethebronx.com. And, well, like I said, it's summer in the Bronx, so that means what? It's time for Summer Works. That's right, the annual theater and dance festival at Lehman College. And, well, Henry Ovalles is the assistant director of Lehman Stages, and he's here to talk about all the fun free events and shows that are coming up. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, good morning, Rhina. Thank you for having
Well, thank you for being here with us, and of course providing all this wonderful art. Today is art.
Yes, good.
Yes. So where shall we begin, other than the word free? We love the word free.
Yes, free is good.
Yes.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned before, this is our Lehman Stages Summer Works Festival. This is about the 7th year that we're doing the festival, and we do a lot of free events for the community. We want you guys to come and enjoy, great quality art programming. So we have a few things that already happened, like the Bronx International Film Festival and a concert called Summer Sessions that were very successful and we're very happy about. And what you have coming up tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday night at 8 o'clock, we have a show called Broadway Under a Bronx Moon, where everybody could come out. It's outdoors. It's supposed to be a very nice weekend. So you come, you gaze at the stars, you bring, somebody that you like or love, and you watch some great Lehman students and alumni with the band singing some Broadway songs from Fame, Jesus Christ Superstar, In the Heights, Hair, So you could come and enjoy that, all for free.
Yeah, we love that. And it's going to be a full moon tonight, too.
That's right.
It's going to be a full moon. What time does this start?
It'll be 8 o'clock, and like I said, again, full moon, so Broadway Under Bronx Moon is the name of the show, so you'll be able to enjoy that there.
That's beautiful. Now, where in the campus is this being presented?
It's going to be right in the middle of the campus. There's a big area in the campus called the Peace Grove. It's the quad. It's this big grassy area right in the middle of the campus. You can't miss it, so that's where you could come, and you'll hear the music and listen to the great singers.
So, yes, and then you bring your blankets.
Exactly.
You bring your stuff to nibble on, and you just sit back and enjoy the wonderful sounds of Broadway under the moon.
Exactly. And
nice.
It's a nice, sweet, short show. It's 2 acts, about 45 minutes each. So it's a 90-minute show. You come, you sit back, relax, and see some great singers and some great dancers also. There's a little choreography in there, too.
Okay, so that's tonight, July 15th.
That's tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday night at 8 o'clock.
So tonight, July 15th, tomorrow, July 16th, and Sunday, July 17th?
That's correct, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, all 3 days.
All 3 days, all free.
All free.
Yes.
Free. Love that word, free. All right, so what else you got?
And then next week we have something out starting up. It's the Bronx Solo Performance Festival. It's the first annual Bronx Solo Performance Festival where we have 4 actors just coming and sort of telling their stories, solo performances, basically going back to the roots of theater where you just have one actor on stage telling their story, going back to the roots of storytelling. And that's going to be very exciting. I've been to a couple of the rehearsals, and that's going to be really, really cool.
So how long? These are one-person shows, right?
Yes, one-person shows, and we have 4 actors. They'll be performing each night.
Do you know who the actors are?
Yes, we have Jose Roldan Jr., we have Phoebe Smith, we have Jamali Corniel, and we have Lawrence Mays coming and telling their stories. And they're varied people. Some of them, have a big dance experience. Some of them, Lawrence, for example, is big into poetry. So you'll see a lot of different flavors there, and it's really going to be fun.
Are they all being presented simultaneously?
Yes, it'll be simultaneously.
Like one right after the other?
One right after the other, yeah. It's a 2-hour show. And that starts next Thursday, July 21st, and that runs through the 31st of July. So 2 weeks of that, Thursday through Sunday and Thursday through Sunday.
Nice. You guys are really active today. Well, not today. You're active today because you're actually telling us everything there is to do today and throughout the weekend. And then finally you have Kids Rule, which looks like my favorite.
Yes, and Kids Rule is actually our favorite event also. It's probably our biggest event of the year. That's going to be Thursday, August 4th through Sunday, August 7th. On August 4th and August 5th, that's a Thursday and a Friday, we have theater days at 10 and 11:30 at the Lovinger Theater, where you get to come and see 2 children's theater shows. The first one's called I'll Huff and I'll Quack and I'll Blow Down Your Porridge, which is a mixture of The Ugly Duckling and Goldilocks and the 3 Bears and some surprises thrown in.
Nice.
And then we'll also be presenting Ferdinand the Bull, which is a great also children's theater show. And then the most exciting thing is on Saturday and Sunday, the 6th and the 7th, we have our Fresh Air Fun Day where we have pony rides, we have bouncy castles, we have magic shows, we have children's theater, there's face painting, and it's all, again, free for everybody to come out.
We love that. Love that. You're trying to be on the side going, yes.
Yes.
Face painting, mommy. No, she didn't exactly say that. She said free.
Yes. Free and face painting and pony rides.
Yes, pony rides. Yes. No, I'm just looking at this because you said the 5th and 6th. So this is an August event. So we're going to actually probably invite you guys back on to
that would be great.
Give us a nice little taste of the Kids Rule weekend.
Yeah, and the Kids Rule weekend on that Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be from 12 to 5 p.m. You just come, again, enjoy the outdoors fun and fresh air, and you have, plenty of space for the kids to run around and jump on bouncy castles. And this year we're actually going to have a water slide, which we're very excited about.
A water slide?
Yes. What more can you ask for?
That's awesome. Tranvita, you heard that? A water slide. She's learning how to swim. Not. She can't stand the swimming classes anyway, but no. I just had to because it's like water slide. That sounds like so much fun. Hopefully she'll be over her water fright by the time the water slide comes in. But however, there's a lot going on. We started with this weekend into next week and then into August. So if somebody wanted to obtain the calendar on all of these particular events, where would they go directly to?
What they want to do is call our box office number. There's all the information there. That's 718-960-8025. And also, probably easier, you could go to our website, which is www.lehmanstages.org, and you could see pictures and all the information, times, and dates right there.
Nice. And once again, so we just went over like 3 different
projects.
But Broadway Under the Moon starts tonight, which is July 15. It's tonight, July 15, 16, and 17, 8 o'clock, free. It sounds really, really cool, especially because it's a full moon.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's timed perfectly, and you know, you can bring your blankets and just kind of just lounge around and listen to some beautiful Broadway without paying Broadway prices.
Right.
That's kind of cool, right? And then he's got the BX Solo, which are 4-person, one-person show. 4 people, 1-person shows are actually going to be shown together, and that's going to be like a week or 2
right.
weeks,
Starts
right?
next week on
right.
next week
July
Thursday.
July 21st.
Through the 31st.
Through the 31st, and then of course the Kids Rule, my favorite. Kids Rule.
Because
yes,
kids rule.
Yes, because they do. I call mine La Jefa. I do. I call her La Jefa. A weekend of fun, games, magic, and theater for kids. And this is taking place in August. So make sure you go check them out on the website. However, we are going to invite them back on just to go over the whole itinerary as we get closer to August.
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you, Henry, for coming through. And once again, if you want to get more information, you can call them at 718-960-8025. And always visit them online 24/7 at
LehmanStages.org.
Lehman Stages, yes. All right, so let's just be clear about that. It's www.lehmanstages.org. Once again, thank you, Henry, for coming in and sharing all this wonderful information for you guys to get out and do for free. Love that. All right, don't go anywhere. Next, Bobby C. brings you the top news in sports. So we'll be right back. Thank you. That was awesome.
Longtime Bronx Public School educator Janet Grossback-Mayer was at Hood Bookstore on Westchester Avenue off Prospect Avenue to talk about her newly released book, As Bad as They Say. It's a title that came out of a letter exchange she began in 1995 with a school in South Africa. In some of the first letters received, the students wanted to know, is the Bronx as bad as they say? That was all she needed to commit to writing a book to set the record straight.
I was astonished. The kids were astonished. We had no idea the reputation of the Bronx. So then and there I knew I was going to write a book to change the stereotype.
Grossback-Mayer read excerpts from her book. The names of the schools where she taught and her students are fictitious to hide their identities. Nonetheless, each one demonstrates the spirit and character of Bronx kids making good grades despite difficult circumstances. Teresa Chiaramonte is one of Grossback-Mayer's former students. She graduated from Lehman High School in 1987 and credits her for instilling within her a love for learning.
We were leaving for summer school. I didn't want to go. And she goes, well, I'll see you in September. I'm like, all right. So I was like, I'm not going to have you for a teacher, a reading teacher, you know, how's it go? I ended up having her for 3 semesters before she left.
The book also includes a scathing assessment of the current condition of public education.
And it's really important to know that our students are being cheated, that what's going on is not working, the reforms are not working, we're spending billions of our taxpayers' dollars, and they're not helping.
That's nationally. Here in New York City, Mayer shared that while current New York City Schools Chancellor Dennis Walcott has a deep understanding and a stake in the success of public education, she says that was not the same for his predecessors.
Klein, who knows nothing about education, retires, and he hires Kathleen Black, who is also a media mogul, who didn't even go to public school. At least Joe Klein went to a public school. She had no background, so it took only 3 months. But the person is a very nice gentleman, Mr. Walcott now, but he is a yes man for Bloomberg. He has never dissented. He will not dissent.
Then it was time to sign copies of her book for her guests, many of whom were also teachers.
I don't teach in New York City public schools. I teach in Westchester County, okay, and I teach special education. And Janet is really a role model, I must say.
Retired Bronx public school teacher Laverne Harris and now owner of Hood Bookstore shared that she was happy to bring in Mayer to talk about a subject so important to the future of the Bronx.
I have to say that I just retired a year ago from the Department of Ed, so I was a teacher for over 27 years. And so naturally I know the importance of education and I know the importance of reading. That's what it's all about. I love to read, and a book that's really based on memoirs really grabs me.
Her days of teaching are far from over. October. She just completed her 50th year of teaching. Now with her book out, she wants to continue to rally on behalf of Bronx students. Mayor shared during her talk that the policies in place are not benefiting kids. She said she'd like to see more parents involved. She talked about a march on Washington called SOS, Save Our Children, and that's where she'll be. For BronxNet, this is Arlene Makoko.
This is Bobby C. reporting from Yankee Stadium. The captain, hats off to him because he certainly has a knack for the dramatic. DJ 3K goes down as one of the finest moments in Bronx baseball history. It may have taken Jeter a little longer than expected, but the all-star shortstop who returned from the DL earlier in the week did what he always does, save his best for the biggest stage. Jeter collected his 3,000th hit on Saturday and then added 4 more to his credit, going 5 for 5 in a dazzling performance against AL East rival Tampa Bay. Number 2 went Hollywood, homering for number 3,000 against Rays starter David Price, which tied the game at 1-1, and would later smash a tie-breaking single in the 8th inning that gave the Bronx Bombers a 5-4 win.
This is already movie ready to get your 3,000th hit and a home run that ties the game, and then to get 3,003, a game winner. It's just remarkable.
It was hard for Jeter to eclipse himself, from the flip to the dive to Mr. November, but his long ball put him in even more exclusive company. Jeter not only became the first Yankee to ever attain the 3,000 hit milestone, but by homering, he became only the second player of the 28 in history to do so via the home run.
I've grown up with these fans, and I'm glad that, like I said before, I had an opportunity to do it here because it just wouldn't have felt right to do it somewhere else. The Yankee fans have always been great. I've said it time and time again, they appreciate the history of the sport, history of the organization. The thing that means the most to me is that I've been able to get all these hits in the Yankee uniform.
When Jeter arrived at home plate, the last remaining parts of the core 4 joined in celebration, with Jorge Posada giving Jeter a bear hug and Rivera mobbing the captain in a moment that will be forever etched in time.
I got a little bit emotional because I was so happy for him. He's amazing what he's able to do, but for him, he looks forward to that moment. Go out there and get 5 hits today. He's amazing.
Fittingly, Rivera saved Jeter's turn back the clock performance.
You're talking about from Babe Ruth to Yogi Berra and DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, and all those guys, and none of them have 3,000. And then here comes Derek Jeter for so many years. For us, I'm extremely happy for him.
It was Jeter's first 5-hit game since 2005 and the first ever for any player at the new Yankee Stadium, something that fans from near and far wouldn't miss.
I know it's a great feeling for Derek, and I know it's a great feeling for the Bronx fans, and I know back home in Kalamazoo, Michigan, they're partying up a storm, baby. Because that's still their guy. It's still our guy.
As for the lucky youngster that nabbed the home run, the 23-year-old from Highland Mills never had any intention to keep it.
It's his accomplishment. This is a milestone. Like someone said, only 27 other people have done this. It's not an everyday thing, and he deserves every second of it.
As for the fans of the Bronx, the 161st Street Bid did their best to make the moment extra sweet, too.
Everybody in the neighborhood was out here cheering and waiting for the free cake. We had a line of people by the 6th inning, kids waiting for cake, parents celebrating, and I think it was a really special moment for the Bronx, really a special moment for knitting the neighborhood and the Yankees closer together.
Iconic moments like the one Derek Jeter provided last weekend are nothing new for the Bronx Bombers. The New York Yankees, like Jeter, have always had a flair for the dramatic and for storybook endings. 50 years ago, in the summer of 1961, legends Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris were authoring a new ending to the pursuit of Babe Ruth's single-season home run record. Chronicling that history right here in the Bronx was a young writer named Phil Pepe. Today, he joins us in the Sports Corner to tell us about his latest book, 1961 *, The Inside Story of the Maris-Mantle Home Run Chase. On this date, July 15, 1961, the chase was really starting to heat up. The Yankees were 55-30 and defeated the Chicago White Sox 9-8, and as Maris went 3 for 6 with a Valentine blast, as the late great Mel Allen would say. And then the M&M boys continued their assault on Ruth's cherished record. The mix stood at 31, and Maris, the kid who grew up in Fargo, North Dakota, and many believed had no right hunting the Babe, stood at 35. Thank you so much for joining us today in the Sports Corner. You were there for it all. Bring us to August 2nd, 1960.
July 15th, I was minding my own business, not doing much of anything, maybe covering some local golf tournament or something, and next thing you know, a couple of weeks later, I'm covering the Yankees, not only covering the New York Yankees, who were in a close pennant chase with the Detroit Tigers, but I'm in the middle of one of the most historic events in baseball history. I certainly was not prepared for such a thing.
So, for the kids at home, I think most of them will know Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, and the fact that the record these days belongs to those guys. To put it in perspective, an all-star this past week, Jose Bautista has 31 home runs at the break. We just mentioned it. Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, 35, 31. You point out in the book that no player had a September like Babe Ruth in 1927. Talk a little bit more about Ruth in that year.
Yeah, well, that was a record that everybody assumed would never be broken. I mean, Babe Ruth couldn't even break it himself. He hit he broke the record. He held the record at 60. Never came close to. I guess he hit 59 another time later on. But they thought that he would be the one to raise the record. It never happened. Players came along. There were several challenges to the record. Jimmy Fox hit 58. Hank Greenberg hit 58. Hack Wilson hit 56, but they all hit a wall in September. Babe Ruth hit 17 home runs in the month of September. At the time, that was amazing. Nobody could compete with that.
So these guys have this great pace so far, but it doesn't really mean anything at that point in the season.
Well, people were suspicious. You know, they were doubtful. They were skeptical. They didn't think that anybody would break it. What they did have, however, was an additional 8 games because expansion had come to the American League in 1961. So they went from an 8-team league to a 10-team league, and consequently they had to increase the schedule from 154 games to 162. And so Maris and Mantle, or everybody, had 8 additional games that Babe Ruth, an advantage over what Babe Ruth had, and that was the source of a controversy.
So much controversy in 1961. You talk about legends in the book, a guy like Ty Cobb, who really wasn't a big fan of Babe Ruth when he was playing, but in 1961 he didn't want to see Ruth's record fall.
What he wanted to do was not protect Babe Ruth's record so much as protect his era, his guys, his people. So he was campaigning that you should not break a record if you have an additional 8 games advantage. Keep that record intact, you know, and it doesn't matter whether it was Ruth or anybody else. It was from his era.
Phil, Maris clearly wasn't the fan favorite in 1961. I think he kind of reminds me a little bit of how Lou Gehrig must have been to Babe Ruth in 1927, where he was a dominant player, at least in those couple of years, 60 and 61, but always played second fiddle to the Babe. And in 61, Maris playing second fiddle to the Mick.
Well, everybody played second fiddle to the Babe. I mean, it was inevitable. You couldn't help that. And I certainly had no idea. I wasn't around then in those days, obviously. So I don't know how the perception of the fan was to Gehrig. I suspect it was pretty good, but he wasn't Babe Ruth. In this case, Maris was difficult. The things that came out in the Billy Crystal movie indicated that, you know, he was surly. He wasn't surly. He wasn't hostile. He was just difficult because he wasn't forthcoming. He didn't want the spotlight. He was humble. He didn't want to talk about himself. And when you interviewed him, he gave you platitudes. He didn't give you any long. It wasn't a Reggie Jackson type of interview. So that was one of the problems. The other thing was that most people felt, and the players, the Yankees themselves, I quote Moose Skowron in the book saying that they wanted Mantle to break the record. They felt he was the deserving guy because he came up through the Yankee system. He had been their star, their leader, their go-to guy for so many years, won a Triple Crown, won a couple of home run championships. They thought he was the logical guy to break the record, but didn't mean that they were rooting against Maris. They just preferred Mantle.
The younger generation has probably learned about that 61 season through the Billy Crystal HBO film and now hopefully through your book. Can you talk about that media portrayal? Because in the film you say that it's not completely accurate. What was it like covering the Eminem Boys in 61?
My feeling was that Hollywood needs a protagonist. You know, they need a villain to make it an interesting story. So they decided that the villain was going to be the media. And I think that was a stretch. That was an exaggeration. I don't remember people openly rooting against Maris to break the record or knocking him. They complained about the fact that he was a difficult interview because he wasn't giving them anything. But other than that, there was no animosity towards him and no reason to root against him, I don't believe.
The asterisk will always be synonymous with 1961 and Maris and Mantle. But you point out in the book that Commissioner Ford Frick really never instituted one.
That came about accidentally. What happened was there was all this pressure on Frick as the commissioner to make a decision on what are you going to do about the extra 8 games. He was getting pressure from old-time players, old-time writers, people in baseball, fans. At the same time, he had his own dilemma. He was a very close friend of the Babes. He had been Frick had been a sports writer and was Babe's ghostwriter. So he was trying to protect the legacy of his buddy in one way, and also the interest of the game itself in another.
Maris and Mantle, Phil, they lose out on a home run during the season. You definitely recapture the entire season of '61, which is great. But to me, a great story now, and this is being talked about, of course, all over the place with this young kid that caught Jeter's 3,000 milestone, is the story of Sal Durante. Can you bring us back to that day, October 1st, 1961?
The fact that 23,000 people showed up at Yankee Stadium, which held 68,000, whatever, 60 to 70,000 people could have gone there. Only 23,000 people showing up for that historic day is mind-boggling. I mean, I have no explanation for it. Some people say it was because of the memorabilia craze hadn't taken hold. Well, there was a restaurateur out of Seattle who was offering $5,000 if you caught that ball and gave it to him, he'd give you a $5,000 check. In 1961, you could buy 2 brand new Fords for less than $5,000 and fill them both with gas for a whole year, as I point out in the book. I did my own research and found out that in 1961, my gross income was $9,000. So $5,000 was quite a bonanza, and yet only 23,000 people showed up. Not only that, but this kid, Sal Durante, 19 years old, living in Brooklyn in Coney Island, wakes up that morning and decides he's going to go to the game and he's going to sit in the right field seats, and gets to the ballpark maybe an hour or 2 before game time, is able to get the seats he chose. Do you think that can happen today?
No way. And then you saw it, too, last week with Jeter, all the fans outside after that rain out on Friday night. I mean, over 50,000 fans for that milestone. You would think back in 1961 that the feeling would be the same.
Well, the Yankee attendance in 1961, I think, was about 1.6 or 1.7 million.
I think you said 1.7 in the book,
and today they're drawing close to close to and over 4 million. So that's the difference.
Will we ever see another season like 1961 where 2 teammates have this remarkable chase?
Oh, I think it's possible. I don't know if I'll be around for it, but I think, yeah, I think guys are hitting home runs nowadays. I think you might have something like that, sure.
We're up against it in terms of time, but one of the final questions that I had was 3 epilogues in the book. You go over a lot of great stuff. Greatest Yankee team, 27, 1961. Roger Maris's place. Do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
I don't.
You don't?
I would. do you want me to tell you why?
Real quick,
I
yes.
just don't think that you put a guy in the Hall of Fame based on one season. There are players like Dave Parker, Don Mattingly, Dale Murphy, Vada Pinson. None of them are in the Hall of Fame, and they all had better careers than Roger Maris.
Well, he definitely had one great season,
Yes,
and this
did.
is one great book. I wanted to thank you for coming on. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have today in the Sports Corner. Phil Pepe kept a journal of his articles from that amazing 1961 season where he chronicled the chase between Maris and Mantle for the New York World Telegram and Sun. And now you can relive one of the greatest years in baseball history by picking up his book, 1961 Asterisk, the inside story of the Maris-Mantle home run chase. The book is available at all major retailers, including Barnes & Noble, and through the publisher, Triumph Books, at www.triumphbooks.com. If you don't act fast, this book will be going, gone, just like this segment. We'll be right back with more Open after this.
The Bronx is the birthplace of salsa, and here at Pregones Theater, the kickoff to Salsa Fest starts. The Bronx hosted the first ever Bronx Salsa Fest with world-renowned talent like Benny Bonillo and Orlando Marin.
Obviously, my mother didn't have no money to give me lessons because I wanted to learn music. I didn't know what I wanted. Anyway, to make a long story short, her mother, my grandmother, knew I liked music, so she gave me an oatmeal box. So with the radio on and the Roombas, not mambo, Roombas would come on and I would bang away on my oatmeal box.
What better way to start this event but with the critically acclaimed From Mambo to Hip Hop, A Tale of the South Bronx.
Jump on it, jump on it. get funding and everything, it took about 7 years to get funding and to finish the project, and so it was done in around 2004, 2005, and then on PBS. So it was a long process, but I think, and it started out just really wanting to learn about the history of all the dance halls. We realized the Bronx had such a great history, and we were really concerned that the Bronx was more than just burning buildings that people, those images that you saw. That's kind of the reputation, the image that the whole world still has of the Bronx, and we wanted to show that there's a lot more.
Salsa is the result of Puerto Rican musicians mixing the Cuban mambo with a sprinkling of jazz to create a new sound.
The Puerto Rican contribution is that when we got here in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, etc., we adopted the music, adapted it, and made incredible contributions to it, particularly from the progressive side of things, with musicians like Maestro Tito Puente, who took up the banner of what Machito and the Afro-Cubans did here in New York in 1939. They were the first band to fuse jazz arranging technique with pure Cuban rhythms, and people like Tito Puente, who played in the band when he was young, very young, in Spanish Harlem, took those techniques and even modernized them even more.
The event moved the audience from screen to stage with these world-renowned dancers. And these salsa legends provide a nostalgic and romantic history of the music in the borough.
Tony Pabon wrote that song, and he was an old rock and roll guy. So one day we were fooling around, and he came up with that ooh ah, I like it like that, and it just took off on the radio.
I'm the first successful band leader to come out of the Bronx and represent the Bronx, New York, and everything all over the world. But coming out of the Bronx and going to all the boroughs, I opened more clubs and dance halls in the Bronx than anybody.
From the birthplace of salsa, this is Sylvia Anglin for BronxNet.
Thank you, Sylvia, for that report, and we look forward to next year's Salsa Fest. And once again, Salsa on Orchard Beach, which kind of like Salsa Fest seeped into, is going to continue for the next couple of weeks, so make sure you check out the website, ilovethebronx.com. All right, welcome back to the studio. Rhina Valentin here. Our next guest is the producers. He's actually a producer of BronxNet's Emmy-nominated show called Open 2.0. He's here to discuss how students can become involved in interning for BronxNet and eventually produce their own show, just like he did. Please welcome to the show Open 2.0 producer Justin Rodriguez. Hello, Justin.
Hey. It's so weird being on this side of the set.
Why?
Usually you're behind the scenes running around. It's more comfortable. I get to just sit down and relax for a minute.
You actually get to sit down and relax as a producer?
No, here.
Oh, here? Oh,
yeah.
right.
No.
I was about to say, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't see Shirley sitting down relaxing anywhere. Shirley's our producer here on Open Fridays. Anywho, let's just share with everyone a little bit about your process.
Yeah. Okay. 2.0 is more or less, it's a teen talk show. It's teens come in from different high schools around the Bronx, from high schools like Truman, Lehman, St. Catherine's, Mount St. Ursula, Aquinas, and they all come in and they pretty much do everything from camera work to eventually producing like I am, to hosting the show, actually being guests on the show, TD, audio, everything that interns for shows like this get to do.
Okay, so you're using television terms, which some people who might be watching are not familiar with, and that's awesome, right? How did you start, how did you learn, and where did you find out about this program?
Well, I started when I was 15 here at BronxNet,
right,
as one of the teen interns, not part of 2.0, part of an old teen talk show that was here called Teens Talk to Glennis. And basically I started doing on-air stuff, as you do, hosting and stuff like that. And from there, I just always had an interest from behind the scenes thing, working with the cameras and stuff like that. So I asked one day, do you guys have another internship? I ended up interning here at Open. And after a while of interning here, I pretty much, went behind a producer, asked around, didn't stay quiet, went around, talked, met new people, and just building connections, And from there, I started assistant producing for one of these shows. And then 2.0 came about, and Marissa New, who's actually the intern coordinator here, knew that I had an experience. I was a teen intern. I know what the process is like. So she said, is there anyone better that can do the job than someone who went through it before? So working with the teens, I ended up becoming their producer. So I helped them book their guests, schedule their shows, pretty much help them build their show and create the show that they want to do.
Nice, nice. Nice, very nice. And so you were saying Open 2.0, it's teen-based, teen design. Let's share a little bit about that now.
So what happens is teens come in from different high schools and they get the chance to pretty much express their creativity by having guests that they want to see, things that they're interested in. You know, like teens, some teens are interested in fashion and modeling, so we had a giant Open 2.0 fashion show. Other teens are interested in music and the arts, so we had like a mini music concert episode. Other interns are interested in comedy, so we created a comedy segment for him. And he gets to come on and do What Grinds My Gears every week. And it's actually been really popular now. So teens get to come here, express what they want to do, create the TV show that they want to watch. And whoever doesn't want to be on air gets to do everything like learning the cameras that they've been dying to learn. You know, it's great because I remember when I first got here, I had no idea what I was doing. I got here, I was holding the camera and I'm like, which one is the zoom, I have no idea what this is. I was shaking. So for them to come in and I see them start off how I did and then get better than I am very fast is amazing for me to watch.
Interesting. Now, what is the process now? Let's say working with Open 2.0, like can somebody just kind of call in and ask, oh, can I be a host? Like, isn't there a process that they have to go through?
Well, it's not too much of a process anymore. It's more or less an open studio. So we ask the kids the kids that we have, we ask them if you have a friend or you know anyone that you are friends with that are in school that has an interest in broadcasting, bring them on. And honestly, we get a big turnout with that. A lot of the kids' friends come in because not a lot of kids have access to things like this.
Right.
You know, everything is hands-on. You know, when you go to an internship, you're there and you're doing coffee and tea.
Right,
and, you know, get me the donuts or go walk my dog or something.
Right,
Here, everything's hands-on. So when the teens come in, they come in packs. And they're ready and they want to learn. It's not like they come in and they're sitting down. They want to get experience. They want to try everything. You know, they're very open-minded.
That's very cool, especially when you're in that type of environment because it's kind of like, you know, earlier we said kids rules in the segment with Henry Ovalles, but now it's like teens rule, right?
Yeah.
This is teens rule,
Exactly.
Open 2.0, right? How old are you now?
I'm 19.
19, wow. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, thank you.
We're certainly very proud of you here, Justin.
Thank you.
You've come a long way, and not to mention you're part of a work that is Emmy nominated. That's really big.
Yeah. It was, when I found that out, honestly, I was very proud of the teens. I was very proud of, you know, being part of that, but I couldn't take the credit at all. I was more or less, you know, these are the teen shows. They created everything. It's their thing. And having Marissa White in the studio showing the kids and everything was great. So having her come up with that idea, because it was her idea originally, and it was a great experience to have that.
Yeah, and so where are you now with this?
Now I'm still producing their show. Right now we're in the midst of planning some more outdoor things for them so they can get field experience.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to plan out this sort of an outdoor music show, sort of like what you guys did with the Fordham Road, if you remember.
Right.
And we saw the success and how amazing that was, that me and Marissa thought this would be a great opportunity for the kids to do something like that. And we could have, you know, all the open hosts come on and have a lot of the music people in the Bronx, like artists in the Bronx who are up and coming.
Nice.
So it'd be everything from poets to performers, dancers, a couple of musicians thrown in the mix. So, you know, a show where the teens can express their music side.
Beautiful. So, once again, Open 2.0 airs right here on BronxNet Channel 67.
Yeah.
Can you give us the air times? The days?
It comes on Mondays and Fridays at 4.
Mondays and Fridays at 4.
Yeah.
And also, if anybody's interested in becoming part of this whole Open 2.0 family, whether it's hosting or behind the scenes training, how do they do so?
If you want to become an intern for Open 2.0, you can call the BronxNet number, or you can visit the website, BronxNet.org, or you can email Marissa at BronxNet.org.
Marissa at BronxNet.org. And Justin Rodriguez, we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
He's here behind the scenes on Open as well, so he works very hard. Congratulations on all your endeavors. And once again, if anybody's interested, any of you teens out there interested in being part of the Open 2.0 process, all you got to do is send an email to Marissa, and that's with 2 S's. Excuse me, it's 1 S, Marisa at BronxNet.org. Once again, that's Marissa, Marisa at BronxNet.org. And you can always check us out at BronxNet.org website. All right, thank you once again, and we have to move it along. But when we come back, well, we are going to hear the sounds of the music that we've been listening to throughout the show in our Open Artist Spotlight. Don't go to her. We'll be right back.
Big dreams and good grades aren't enough to get into college. There are actual steps you need to take. Finding someone who can help is the first and most important. For the next steps, go to knowhowtogo.org.
How you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Thanks.
If only child abuse were this easy to recognize. If you even suspect abuse, call 1-800-4-A-CHILD. All calls are anonymous and confidential. Trust your instincts.
My name's Brandon. I'm 9 years old, being alcoholic.
Hi, Brandon.
I'll start drinking with the older kids. And whatever they do, I'll do.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults. So start talking before they start drinking.
I know it'll start with alcohol. I'm just not sure how it's gonna end.
And welcome back, everyone. The stage is all warmed up and the lights are shining for our Open Artist Spotlight.
The Open Artist Spotlight is made possible in part with public funds from the Bronx Council on the Arts through the New York State Council on the Arts Decentralization Program.
As I've already introduced, our open artists specialize in world Latin and flamenco music. This band's guitar playing, vocals and melodies will move you to the core and make you feel like you are in the old city of Spain. And, well, they're going to give us a little taste of some Gypsy King music. Let's give it up once again for Los Cintrón!
Ese amor llega así de esa manera, no tiene la culpa. Caballo le dan sabana porque es muy desgraciado, por eso no me pregunte llorar. Ese amor llega así de esa manera, no tiene la culpa. Amores del pasado. Ven, 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 vamos, porque mi vida yo la prefiero vivir así. Vamos, porque mi vida yo la prefiero vivir así. No tenés perdón de Dios. Que separarnos, yo sigo mal que ayer, que creo en ti. No tiene que ya abandone. Es imposible vivir sin la verdad. Si algún día tiene que separarnos, yo sigo mal que ayer, que creo en ti. Ese amor que llega así, de esa manera, que no tiene la culpa. Ay, amor me compra inventado, amores del pasado. Venme, 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 ay, bamboleo, bamboleo, porque mi vida yo la prefiero vivir así. Porque mi vida vida yo la prefiero vivir así. Bambolina, porque mi vida yo la prefiero vivir así.
All right, that's not exactly flamenco, pero you know I could get it down like this. Wepa! Oh, you guys are so playful. I love it. Wepa! Los Citron, everyone. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That was wonderful. Oh, wow, wow, wow. That was so refreshing. And we have to share with everyone before we run out of time how you guys are actually going to be playing on a cruise ship this Sunday, July 17th.
Correct.
Yes, on the Jewel, right?
That's right, that's right.
It leaves from 23rd Street.
On the east side of Manhattan?
On the east side of Manhattan.
Just speak into the microphone to make sure that they hear you.
Leaves on 23rd Street.
Right, yes, thank you, thank you.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. In Manhattan. And yeah, so that's this Sunday. And of course, people can actually get the tickets online. Actually, you can go to larinadelbarrio.org to get your tickets online. How you like that?
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yes, it is going to be a lot of fun.
Dancers, a larger group, and it's beautiful. It's a cruise.
Yes, you can have flamenco dancers as well. Yes, and it's a cruise to nowhere. We shouldn't say nowhere. It's going to be around the city, but it's nice. Oh, there we go. The Gypsy Kings cruise, which is July 17th, and that's going to be this Sunday, July 17th. And if you want more information on the event, you can go to KOBIEvents.com. Kobe is spelled K-O-B-I events, KOBI events.com to obtain more information. And once again, I send you to larinadelbarrio.org to get the tickets, and that's happening this Sunday. And well, as you can see, it's going to be very elegant and maybe even a little romantic for you romancers out there, so make sure you get out there on Sunday. All right, we're out of time. Thank you all for coming through. Thank you. Woo! That's all the time we have for today's show, people. Of course, you know, we want to thank all of our guests. And, but before, well, okay. Yes, please do play. Yes, I just want to take a moment, well, when she gets here, she's getting here, to wish my beba a happy birthday. My daughter, Tranvider, is going to be 2 years old on Sunday. Yay! Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Woo! Beautiful.
My name's Brandon. I'm 9 years old, being alcoholic.
Hi, Brandon.
I'll start drinking with the older kids. And whatever they do, I'll do.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults. So start talking before they start drinking.
I know I'll start with alcohol. I'm just not sure how it's gonna end.
How you doing? I just want regular, no sugar today.
You got it.
Thanks. Hello.
Hi.
Did you eat that whole thing today?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Hi, how you doing?
She's getting big, huh?
Good. Yeah, she is big. Let's get your haircut.
Yeah.
Looks cute. Come on, let's go. Nice to see you. Thanks a lot.
If only child abuse were this easy to recognize. If you even suspect abuse, call 1-800-4-A-CHILD. All calls are anonymous and confidential. Trust your instincts.